Now it's Coach Peach's turn to go. He's the jab, I parry, I stand my ground on the check. Coach Peach is a big guy, but I'm standing my ground so he's not knocking me over, right? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Sure? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's up everybody? Shane here. Got a fun video for you today. So right now I'm outside of Beacon MMA in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I've been teaching classes a couple days a week here, and I wanted to show you a little bit of my style, how I teach and what I teach. Then we're gonna do a little experiment. We're gonna take some of the students and we're gonna ask them to coach the coaches, and we're gonna give them some help with the software known as Wodify. I wanna bring you guys along for the trip. So let's head inside, but first I want to introduce you to the owner and head coach, Bob Peach. Let's do it. Guys, I'm here with Coach Peach, someone who I truly admire. I've known for a very long time, learned a lot from you. We've known each other for what, like 16 years now?
16, 17 years.
Through Dada's fight camps.
Yep.
Now you own Beacon MMA. I first want to ask, how you came up with the name Beacon?
So obviously a beacon is like a guiding light, something that directs you. So for the martial arts, that makes a lot of sense for new students. But my family history is my great-grandfather on my mother's side was the last living lighthouse keeper in America. He and my grandmother and her brothers and sisters grew up on Boston Light. So to me, the lighthouse symbol had a lot to do with my upbringing and also just something for me that was special. So we use that in our logo, and that's kind of like the root of the beacon name, but also, like I said, for martial arts, it's a guiding light. It will show you the way.
Yeah, I love it. One thing that I think is really cool is you have a degree in engineering. So naturally, I have to ask, why and how did you pursue martial arts and owning your own gym instead of engineering?
Yeah, so I moved to the Philadelphia area for college, to go to Drexel. So that's actually how I started my martial arts journey too. So not long before I met you, I just started training as well. So when I probably met you, I was probably like 3 years in. Thankfully, my coach, like we talked about earlier, Brad Daddis, put me into a coaching role early on in jiu-jitsu first. I expanded my coaching from there. So I started with jiu-jitsu, then I started helping out with striking, and then I started leading striking classes. And obviously at the same time, while I was getting ready for fights, helping my other teammates train as well. So we kind of were always coaching each other. So I kind of fell in love with the competition side of coaching as well as I was falling in love with the coaching of the new students.
So on that note, for any coaches out there watching, or business owners, gym owners, what one bit of advice would you have?
To me, I would say stay open-minded, expand your knowledge base by getting more training in with other people, and seek out people that are better than you in your field, and learn from them. You know?
Love it, love it. All right, guys, we're gonna do a quick experiment here. We're gonna bring you along for the trip. We're gonna meet 2 of Coach Peach's students and see what they got when it comes to coaching.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Cool. Coach Peach and I are gonna do a drill back and forth, and we're not gonna give any verbal cues to Sage and Braden, who are advanced students here at Beacon. And then what we want them to do is, just by observing, we're gonna ask them to teach it to us. All right, so Peach, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. I'll start first. All right, so here we go. Now, what I want from Braden and Sage is to teach as if they're teaching a class, all right? So they're gonna be teaching you, the viewer, and then we're gonna be watching, and we'll offer some feedback afterwards. Take it away.
So, I throw a jab at you. You're gonna pay. Throw my rear kick, you're gonna catch over the top. As you catch, you should be stepping away from the kick and wrapping it up high above the ankle. Then, you place your hand on the heel.
Which hand?
Your left hand on my heel. Step back. Swing the leg over. Throw the kick.
And that's it?
And voila. That's it.
Awesome.
Let's do it again.
Okay. This is perfect because this is perfect. And this is what I expected. And let me provide some feedback first. When I teach, I try to limit it to 3 points of key technical things that they need to follow. All right, so maybe when you throw your kick, pivot on the ball of the foot. When that kick's coming in, slide with it, take some of the steam off. And then to make sure that that leg doesn't get jammed, we want to take a retreating step to pass so that we can throw that roundhouse kick again. So just 3 points. When you think about like 3 bullet points, that's what people are going to remember.
Yeah, and to piggyback on top of that, if you cover 3 details and then someone asks to elaborate, for example, when you caught the kick, should the glove be on the leg? Absolutely not, right? So high glove, elbows deep. You guys started to kind of go into a lot of secondary details, which are great, but like Coach Shane said, we don't want to overwhelm someone that doesn't know the technique, right? So give them those 3 points, they can work on those, then maybe you add on to the drill, you add on an explanation of the technique, and you add another detail. If someone's their first class learning this technique, there's a lot of things going on. You have to know how to throw the jab, you have to open on the round kick, you have to catch, defend, and move the kick, so it could even be broken into a couple of drills depending on the skill level of the class too. So I think consider that as well.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was great.
On that note, we're going to go take a look at the Wodify programming. We have this exact drill laid out in video form with the 3 bullet points that you're going to be able to follow. I want to have you guys watch that, read a couple of the bullet points, come back and do it again.
Now, to be fair, we had to embellish that scene a little bit, and that's because Sage and Braden are very sharp. They're in the gym all the time working their butts off. Plus, Coach Peach is just an excellent instructor. But we took advantage of the Fighttips programming now available on Wodify. We showed them this exact drill in video form and then covered those 3 technical points. And then in just 3 minutes, we had them run the exercise back again and teach us that same drill. And this time around, they absolutely nailed it.
He started off with a jab body kick, and Sage is going to catch it, throw it to the side, and return his own body kick. So it looks a little like this. Jab, body kick.
3 main points we want you to take away while catching the roundhouse kick. I want to step away from the kick. I also want to hike the leg high up into my armpit. I want to step back as I clear his kick, or clear his leg. So clear the leg, the kick. Focus clap on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Good work.
We wanted to take this time to highlight some of the features now available on Wodify, which is so much more than just a gym management software. When you get access to the Fighttips programming, you'll get new kickboxing classes every single day, 365 days a year, complete with warm-ups, solo and partner drills, balance, coordination, and conditioning exercises, cooldowns, and stretching. Plus, you also get coaching notes for each day, safety points, and common mistakes to look out for. Now, just to be clear, we're not telling you how to do your job. This is simply a way of organizing your curriculum so that you, your other coaches, and students have a resource that they can go in and watch these drills ahead of class or after class to accelerate their progress. This will lead to better class attendance and thus better member retention. Our programming is based on 3 things: safety, respect, and effectiveness. All of our drills are designed for students of every experience level so that they can feel both comfortable yet challenged enough to steadily improve their kickboxing skills in a safe and friendly environment.
So we saw a big success with that, definitely a major improvement with their instruction the second time around. So now we got 7:30 kickboxing coming in, and we're going to put those students through the exact same stuff, and we're going to have Sage and Braden help out. Let's take a look. So what we're going to do is just a back and forth. We're going to go 1 for 1. It's going to look like this. All right, so what we're doing there is we're going back and forth 1 for 1. I'm throwing a jab and a roundhouse kick. Coach Peach is going to parry with the same side hand, and then he's going to check with his leg by bringing his knee up to his elbow. So when I throw this jab, he's parrying. I throw the kick, he checks. I want to aim for the body when I do this, so he has to make sure that he lifts his leg up high enough. Once again. Now it's Peach's turn to go. He throws the jab, I parry, I stand my ground on the check. Peach is a big guy, but I'm standing my ground so he's not knocking me over, right? Any questions? Yes, sir. Sure? All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. So sort of a social experiment, had fun with this one, and we definitely saw some big improvements from Sage and Braden, who were definitely ahead of the class, and that's just because we had a couple of minutes where they could practice ahead of time, and they expressed how beneficial they saw that for going into future classes, now that Fight Tips programming is available at Beacon, they were saying that it's going to be a huge benefit for them to be able to watch these drills ahead of time, you know, a day ahead of time, a couple hours ahead of time, or a week ahead of time, go in, practice them, and then after the fact too, if they feel like there was more that they can go and learn about, they have that as a tool. They can always go in and watch that. So if you are interested in class programming, I'm going to have a link down below that you can sign up for, and I'll send you an email with a custom class that you can follow that format. But if you want access to the Wodify programming, which is a new class, 365 days a year, 7 days a week, all Muay Thai focused, and it blends Taekwondo, boxing, and Muay Thai. There's going to be a link down below that'll take you to the Wodify landing page. You'll get in contact with the Wodify rep, and they will take care of you. All right, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below, and I'll get back to you personally. Until next time, I just want to give a special shout out to Coach Peach at Beacon MMA, and if you're ever in the Cherry Hill area, come by and come train with us. Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the underdogs.